Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy. I read some of your comments from the past videos I've done regarding the stimulus packages, and a lot of you are saying that you actually got your $1,000 EIDL grant and you took forbearance because of mine and Kevin's videos, which we're so grateful for all of you. Today, I just want to talk about everything that we're expecting on the next stimulus package. First, I'm sick and tired of this pandemic. I cannot express it enough. I am really paying attention to Congress lately. I don't care about Mitch. I don't care about Nancy. I don't care about politics. I just want this pandemic to be over. I am so frustrated. Sadly, the reality is the pandemic is not over, and unless the government wants to continue abandoning our children and continue abandoning our tenants, our neighbors, our families, here are my expectations of the next stimulus package. First, I expect we'll see a one-time check between $1,200 and $2,000. The amount should be matched for dependents since Republicans and Democrats already agree on a stimulus check, and we've heard that limiting the check to those making under $40,000 would be too challenging. I wouldn't be surprised to see a solid check of $1,200 to $2,000 per dependent. That means a family of four might see $4,800 to $8,000 in stimulus money. Honestly, that's a bare minimum. We're already pathetically behind Canada and Europe, and I'm half Canadian and Kevin's German, and it's pretty frustrating talking to our relatives about how they basically got everything under control, and then here we are, America, looking like pretty stupid. So anyway, this is an expectation, and at this point, I'm so frustrated. It should be a demand, not an expectation. Next, we obviously expect the federal unemployment boost to get extended. I have a tenant relying on this unemployment boost to make their rent payments. In case you don't know, I am a real estate agent and I've done property management professionally for 10 years. I teach property management in the property management and rental renovations course, links down below. The fact is, we have highly qualified tenants with credit scores in the 700 to 850 range with really great jobs, but they unfortunately got furloughed or laid off and are still not back to work. We are going to have a full-on crisis if we don't see an extension to the unemployment boost. Now, let's be real. I think that we're all okay with capping unemployment at what people were making at their jobs before they became unemployed. This shouldn't be a big deal to figure out, in my opinion, because in order to qualify for the federal boost, you have to qualify for state unemployment. And in order to qualify for state unemployment, you have to report what you were making before. And this makes sense because you can't go on unemployment if you've never had a job in the first place. So it's literally a no-brainer in my opinion. Okay, and next, liability protections. Yes, as long as businesses actually try. The other day, I saw on social media some cook at a restaurant cooking and preparing food without a mask. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I know it's hot and it's summer, but come on, like, meat factories have been a huge source of contamination, and this restaurant is literally the final stop for this meat. It's crazy, and I'm not happy seeing that. Like, I actually am not going to restaurants or even getting takeout because I'm so paranoid about the food, and then to see on social media somebody breathing on the food, I don't know, it just all seems so messed up. But anyway, I'm a little frustrated. I'm just getting heated because I'm really honestly pissed about this pandemic, and I want my kids to go back to school. I want this to be over. Speaking of which, yes, I am willing to send my kids back to school, but I don't want my kids going to school and then coming back, having COVID, spreading it in my family, and then killing my parents who are in that hit zone of that age that's risky. So yeah, I don't want to do that. I get the death rate is low for my age and, you know, my kids specifically, but I'm not ready to roll the dice and make my parents have a 10% increased chance of dying. So I think that's not fair. The only way I would feel comfortable sending the kids to school is if there is a really strong plan and the plans are consistent and actually enforced. I expect that kids will probably be put into groups, but let's say Jack in a group of 10 kids and let's say some girl named Emily is in another group of 10 kids. I'd expect to see schools enforce this separation. But in fairness to schools, they should be given some form of aid, I think. And quite frankly, I'm not interested in homeschooling my kids either. I have a job that it's actually been a very big struggle of mine to get my property management stuff, real estate related stuff actually done with the kids around the house. That doesn't mean that I can't homeschool them. I definitely could, but maybe some people in the comments are going to think that I'm a horrible person for saying this. I just don't want to homeschool my kids. I've already been with them for almost 4 months, and it's hard to get anything done, and I think every parent could relate to this. And just to clarify, that is 4 months of 24/7 with 2 young children that basically don't give me any time to myself. Yes, they go to bed at 7:30, but then they often stay up late because honestly, we're not getting much like physical activity going on in the household because we're quarantined so strictly. So they're up later, they wake up earlier. I guess, yeah, I get a break when I sleep, but I'm not even like mentally there. It's unfair. So yeah, I want to be able to do my work. I want to be able to work out. I want to be able to sit on my couch and stare at a wall without being talked to if I want to. And I want to hang out with my husband. I want the kids to be watched, and I want to be able to do my work. I want to do work with my husband. We used to make videos more often together, and now it's so hard. And unless we get schools open soon and safely, I'm going to be very unhappy. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat as me. So here's the problem. The pandemic isn't under control anyway, and California is mostly shut down and announced that most of the counties will have to do virtual learning until this is under control, which who knows when that's going to be. And I really wish we could somehow just have safe schools, but at this point it just seems just too risky. The Treasury Secretary implied that help is on the way for schools, maybe through more targeted Paycheck Protection Program funding. I am all for that. Now let's talk about a payroll tax cut. Come on, politicians, like 70% of us don't know what that means at all. And it's not because we're stupid, it's because we don't have our own employees or we don't work in payroll. Like, do you really have to complicate it so much? If you're going to do a payroll tax cut, why don't you just give people another stimulus check for 2 months or 3 months? Forget the payroll tax cut for 6 months or whatever they want. It just seems like a total disaster to me, and doing a payroll tax cut defunds Social Security and Medicare. So honestly, like, can't we just cut a check? Like, even multiple bigger checks? That'd be really nice. That way we could avoid an eviction crisis too. It just would be overall really great. And forbearance, in my opinion, it's absolutely great. Extend this. Forbearance is like free money for people, and they should keep forbearance going, in my opinion. Maybe they can even fix the $1,000 EIDL grant program that was promised to give people, what, $10,000 checks? But damn, I'm going to get really pissed this week if they don't get their act together and finally provide us with some guidance, because I'm ready to honestly lose my mind. In the meantime, I have some property management work to do, and Kevin says he has a new course on how to make YouTube videos, so go check that out down below, and I'll see you next time.